Over the last few weeks, I had the privilege of traveling to Finland, Estonia, Norway, Sweden, and Iceland. What started as an invitation to hunt in Sweden quickly turned into something much larger. As many of you know, I'm a longtime fan of Sako firearms and Norma ammunition. With help from my friends at Stoker Canada, who are proud Silvercore Club brand affiliates, I was able to connect directly with both companies. I couldn't have imagined the incredible reception we'd receive. Both Sako in Finland and Norma ammunition in Sweden went above and beyond, rolling out the red carpet to show me and my wife the exacting processes behind their brands and, more importantly, to introduce us to the passionate people who make it all happen. At Sako, 8 team members generously took time out of their busy schedules to walk us through their amazing facilities. And at Norma, 2 representatives drove over 3 hours just to stay at our hotel and guide us through their factory tour the next day. I was blown away, not only by the precision, the robotic automation, the state-of-the-art technologies, but by the human element behind it all. Despite all the marvels of modern-day automation, I discovered something profoundly reassuring. That human touch is still irreplaceable. Sure, the machines were cool, but what captured my attention even more was the passion and dedication of the people who make those machines work. Despite the automation at the front end, there is still a heavy emphasis on the human touch on every product that leaves the door at the end of the process. For example, did you know that when you're checking the straightness of a barrel, nothing has yet to surpass a human eye? When examining ammunition, visually and physically inspecting cartridges yield a higher level of guaranteed consistency than machines alone are able to provide. But this trip wasn't just about touring factories. I had the chance to hunt in Sweden with Robin and his friends in Soleron. These incredible people didn't know me from Adam, yet they came together to organize several days of hunting in their traditional Swedish style on historic grounds. These moments, the trust, the connections, the shared experiences are what this podcast is all about. They remind me of a couple of sayings I've shared here before, ones that ring even more true after this trip. The first, it's not personal, it's just business. You've likely heard that phrase before, and I gotta tell you, it's one I completely disagree with. To me, business is deeply personal. It's built on trust, consistency, and meaningful relationships. Separate the personal from the professional, and you'll lose a foundation that holds it all together. The second, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. The people I had the privilege of meeting on this trip are not just great at what they do, they're great people, and that makes all the difference. With that said, let's get on with the podcast. Hey.
Hey, man.
Coming to you from Sigtuna, Sweden, and I am sitting down with Sweden's hottest up-and-coming country music star. He is a passionate hunter, angler, conservationist. Welcome to the Silvercore Podcast, Robin Winther.
Thank you so much, Travis. An honor to be here and be in the podcast and have you guys here as guests. It's been an awesome weekend.
This is the first time that I've recorded and somebody else is running around taking care of all the audio levels and all the professional stuff. Robin is a professional singer, songwriter, music guy all around. You've been doing music for what? Since you've been like 4 years old or before?
Yeah, it's been music like a really long time. I actually started out playing trombone out of all instruments.
The trombone.
Was
that like a school thing? They said you got to play it?
Got to play. My parents are both playing instruments, and I actually wanted to play the trumpet, but it was full, so they put me on trombone in the orchestra. I don't know. I didn't love it. I kind of...
No.
It was rough, but, I think get me started, You have to use your ears because, you don't have it's like a slide.
Yeah. I don't get that. Why, if someone's got an interest in anything, right? If you're an interest in hunting or fishing, if you have an interest in music, why start them off on the recorder, right? I remember when, that's what we did in Canada. We've got these recorders and you're playing hot cross buns and everyone, I've never heard a professional recorder player. No. Maybe they got them, but
they all quit.
I don't think you can make it sound good. Start it with a cool instrument and spark that interest. So if people from North America are listening to this and they're like a Swedish country western music star, I don't know if I've heard your music. And I'll tell you this much. If you've listened to any episode of the Silvercore podcast, you've heard Robin's music. Robin has been a part of the Silvercore podcast from day one.
So fun.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I went online. I'm putting a podcast together. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm figuring it out as I go. But I want to have really cool music, sort of like Sonic brand this, and have a really cool sound that I can have as my intro and outro. And I found one, and I licensed it. It was an online licensing service, and I love it. And it's been on every single episode on the intro and outro. But after 5 years, I'm looking at it and I said, I want to have something that's unique that not everybody can go out and license. And I don't want to change it up too much because I really love the flavor and the style. I don't know if there's any place else that I can really find this. And I thought, well, what if I track down the artist who originally made the song that I really liked? And I did. It took some time of tracking down. It was hard.
Not bad.
you had, I guess, the different companies that you worked through had different names associated with you, and I wasn't sure if I actually found the right place, but I was able to find you. And here's the weird part. So you're in Sweden. I'm like, holy crow, other side of the world from where I'm from. And you're like, oh yeah, my girlfriend, she's from Langley, and she grew up in Richmond, which is like straddling Ladner, where I live. What a small world.
It's insane. You know, when I got this email, I thought it was like a spam email. It's like, I have this podcast, you know, you get all these weird emails like, I want to build you a website or whatever.
Right.
And I saw this email. I was like, is this real? I don't know. I'll just put it into answer lately further down the road.
Yeah.
I'll look into it. And it like, I don't know, it got a couple of weeks. I don't remember how long you had to wait, but
yeah,
we were at, I have a small summer like fishing cabin up in the north of Sweden, and me and my girlfriend from Langley were sitting out on the porch, and we were like, so I got this email, and I wonder if it's real. It's from this guy. It's like a podcaster, or he talked about a song that I did 10 years ago for this company, and because those songs that I did for that company, they were like a licensed free song.
Right, yeah.
So everyone could use it. So I thought it was like, oh, something connected like a spam or something connected to the songs because everyone could use it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And so I read it again. I was like, oh, this seems legit. So I'll answer it.
Yeah.
And like pretty fast, got a respond like, hey man, that's so fun. Can I call you on WhatsApp or something? And you call me, and here we are today.
Yeah, so a friend of mine, Carl Fox, he says, Travis, you've been doing this podcast for a while. You love it. You're making some amazing connections, meeting some amazing people, and people keep coming up. They say, oh, you should come on out hunting. You should come out wherever it might be, right? And I keep saying, no, I'm busy. You know, I'm running the business. I'm doing whatever.
Yeah.
All these other things. He says, you gotta start saying yes. And actually, a few episodes ago, I started it off with be a yes man, right?
Oh, wow.
Somebody says, come on out. Maybe it's outside your comfort zone. And I got no problem pushing my comfort zone, but you know, you get into these routines in life, right? And you get into these areas of work and family and friends and all the rest where it's kind of well balanced, but you have to push those boundaries if you really want to grow. And so I just started saying yes. And you said, hey, if you're ever out in Sweden, we should go for a hunt. And I said?
He said yes. And I thought you were the bravest man in the world. Like, you're reaching out to this guy you don't know on the other side of the Atlantic and invites you to hunt, and you're just like, all right, I'll book a plane ticket and I'll come over.
Yeah. So that was really cool. You don't often get opportunities like this in life. And when you do, if you just say no out of politeness or no because you got a busy schedule, you're missing out on, well, I would have missed out on meeting you and all your amazing friends. So we were in this area. Am I allowed to say where we were?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So we went out to an area in Sweden called Soleron.
Yep.
Saying that right?
Yeah, Sun Island.
Sun Island.
In Old Swedish, pretty much. That's what it means.
And you know what? I should probably take a step back because it's kind of funny. I'm decked out in my Fjällräven pants and Fjällräven shirt to show some homage to Sweden. And you've got your John Deere hat on, and you're wearing your Canadian Tire hat the other day, and your Carhartt. And yeah, it's funny. We look in the garage out here, and you got a 66 Ford with an inline six on there, and we've got our roles reversed here. But so Soleron, awesome place. So just outside of Mora.
Yep.
So there's a company, I use their knives, Morakniv. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Morakniv.
And they make affordable knives. I use them for hunting and fishing. They're lightweight, and I throw them in my pack. And if I want to rat bag it or lend it out, I don't care because I'm not breaking the bank. And anyways, going to Mora, had to stop by their place, check their stuff out. That was pretty amazing. Coming back with a bunch of knives. Prior to that was in Finland and was at the Sako factory. That was really cool. Did a full tour there. What an amazing group of people out there. I shoot Sako, been using them for years and years, and I'm looking at their new models and everything they're putting out. They've got a museum in there, their production line. That was neat, looking at all the robots and machines, putting everything together. But even with all the high-tech automation, final step is human eye, looking over everything. It's got the human touch. And then over to Norma.
Yeah.
So Norma in Sweden, and we've got a tour of the ammo factory. And actually they were, Jonas was nice enough to provide some ammunition to use on the recent hunt that we had here in Soleron.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you're coming on up. It's what, a few hours from here.
3-4 hours.
3-4
up
hours.
northwest, yeah.
And you're like, I got a group of people. They're excited to meet you. You'll like it. It's a beautiful area. It's a bit of a throwback for Sweden. Tell me about it.
I would say it's kind of a time capsule up there. You know, it's I live closer to Stockholm, the big city, and time has been standing a little more still up there, and like especially a little bit more out on this island, and it's a little more old school, which I really enjoy. And the people are so warm and open-hearted and generous, and you know, it takes you back a little bit. And all houses are a little more classic style. They're what color?
They're all red. Everything out there is red. It's like if you paint your house a different color other than red, you are going to be ostracized.
Pretty much. Yeah. We had a short story. We had this mine in Sweden back in the day, copper mine, that the byproduct of this mine was that they did a red paint called Faluröfärg. And it became really popular, and it's a really good paint because it withstands weather great. And yeah, it had a big breakthrough, and since then, I think all houses in Sweden are red.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you see a house that's going to be yellowish color. Or so it looks like you either have red, or if you have a large enough property and you have a secondary property, it's going to be yellow, or it's going to be red and yellow. And some are yellow and red, which is really pushing the envelope.
Pushing the boundaries there, yeah.
Yeah, you know, that it's interesting because one of the things I want to talk about is some sort of the similarities and differences between culture and hunting in Canada and British Columbia, where I'm from, and Sweden. I was amazed at how welcoming everybody was, how similar the mentality of the hunters are, and the camaraderie. But I was also amazed at how easy it was as an outsider to be able to come in and hunt legally within the government framework and regulations. And I mean, you're going to be over in BC in a little bit, and you need to get a guide if you're going to be doing any big game hunting, and that's big bucks. So there's a huge barrier to entry. And then, you know, when I looked at it, we go out. Maybe I'll back up a little bit. We did a driven hunt. Tell me a bit about driven hunts, because this is something we don't really do in Canada.
We're pretty unique in that, because in Sweden we have kind of pretty liberal hunting laws when it comes to the way we hunt. Like, you can't obviously hunt from cars in Sweden, and we have there is some, of course, a lot of laws to it, but we have a super liberal way of hunting with dogs. So pretty much the most popular hunt here in Sweden is with dogs and like driving dogs, pushing dogs. So what we usually do is we have a dog that is like it's purposed and it's trained for the game we're going out hunting that day. So we were out hunting red deer, and so we have a dog that only pushes red deer and boar. So you place out shooters around the area where we're gonna hunt, and then you have a couple of dogs going into this area that we're hunting and trying to awake the animal and push it out to the shooters.
Great.
So that's that's kind of how we do it. And
so civilized, like really
civilized and pretty effective.
Yep.
Goes fast, and if there's an animal in the area where we're hunting, we'll most likely get it out if it's a good dog.
Yeah.
And we got pretty lucky. I think within 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
We had a big female red deer.
Yeah. So, okay, hunt's on. We're all stationed up. We're in our areas. And since you're using dogs, so the animals will be bedded down throughout the day, typically.
Yeah.
You can get up a little bit later in the day. The animals are going to be bedded down. Everyone gets in their positions. Okay. They got GPS collars on the dogs.
Yeah.
The hunters are all geolocated with their units.
Yeah.
There's an app that everybody uses here called We Hunt, and there's a yearly subscription. I think it's about $50, is it, or
something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, yearly subscription, but you get your hunt code, so it shows everybody in your hunting party. You see where you are. You see where the dogs are. You can follow it. Like it's crazy and effective. 10 minutes later, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Yeah. We hear Simon saw the red deer, took some shots, and was successful on that one. I think Alex helped him out there and on the end bit. And then the dogs continue to do their work in case there is more animals in the area.
Yeah.
Interesting things that I learned. So if the dog happens to flush out a different animal than what it is that you're targeting, you guys don't want to harvest that animal.
No.
Because you don't want to reward the dog and turn it into a dog that now hunts a different type of animal. You basically broke that dog.
Yeah, exactly. So it's super sensitive. So if you have a dog, because we did a couple of hunts, we were hunting red deer and boar, and then we were hunting red fox and hare. And if you have a dog that's specialized at hunting fox or hare, you can't hunt roe deer, for example.
Right.
We have a lot of roe deer here in Sweden. It's like pretty like almost invasive. So they're spread out everywhere. And for hunting fox and hare, you need really fast dogs. So from early age, we start training these dogs not to go for roe deer. So it's really important that you don't shoot a roe deer for that. Even though you're allowed to shoot roe deer during that time we're hunting fox and stuff, we don't shoot it because it will pretty much break the dog.
Right.
Like the training. Because if it's once rewarded for a roe deer, it will continue chasing roe deer, and that will not be like, it will take up a lot of time. So like, oh, what is this dog doing? It's running off and chasing a roe deer, and it's following this roe deer for hours, and we're just sitting waiting for fox, So it's
other differences that I saw. Big one right off the bat. You guys use suppressors on your rifles.
We do.
And that totally makes sense. I mean, the two most offensive things from firearms are going to be the recoil, if it's a heavier recoiling firearm, and the noise.
Yeah.
And suppressors help mitigate both of those. They don't get rid of it completely.
No.
But I'm usually out there, I use SWATCOM electronic hearing protection, or like Pelter TAC 6s, but I got these things on all day long.
Yeah.
And they're good in some respects because they'll amplify the sounds around you, and bad in other respects because maybe it's not the sounds you want to hear, because it's usually those higher end kind of sounds, that rustles and crinkles, and that it amplifies. Hotter weather hunting, I don't like it because it's hot, but cold weather hunting, it's nice to have them on. Yeah. But you lose directionality a bit.
I think so too, and also it's like a little weird listening, and you lose also a little connection with nature. I think
I agree.
Have this on. I usually have them like turned up really high, and you hear the wind, and it's like I know it tires you out a little bit. I think
I agree. Yeah, that's a good observation. Obviously, as an audio engineer, you would notice those sort of things.
Yeah, but like it also effective. Like it's good to have. I use them as well, but so the silencer thing actually just got legal to get a silencers without a license. Because before, if you bought a weapon and you wanted to get a silencer for like a bolt action rifle, you had to apply for a license that it would take 8 weeks to get the silencer license as well. And I think it was last year or the year before, they just open it up. So I think you still have to like do something when you buy it. Like, yeah, I have fill in some form that you have a silencer, but there's no licensing for it anymore, which is pretty nice.
Well, I mean, it totally makes sense. I remember I've said this before on the podcast, but I think I was 19 years old, Scotland. I was walking out from Inverness to Loch Ness, and there's a guy shooting on his property, and he was using a suppressor. And anyways, I walked up, I talked with him, and I said, well, those are illegal in Canada. We can't have them. He says, really? I live so close to my neighbors, I have to have them. If I don't have them, then that's sound pollution, and that would be illegal. So
yeah,
that was a bit of an interesting eye-opener. But to be able to hunt and not have to worry about losing your hearing because you're popping around.
It's still loud, even with
a
like a suppressor. It's loud, but it's I like it, and it's good. And we just got it legal for 22s, because before you couldn't have it for 22s.
Really?
Yeah, you could have it for everything else, but like not for 22s. So now we can have it for 22s too.
Why do you think that is?
I think I guess a little too quiet, maybe. I don't know.
You can get quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's nice because then I can use it because I have neighbors around here, even a little remote.
Right.
That's pretty good. I can use it in my backyard in a little forest and practice shoot and stuff.
Yeah. So the speed of sound's around 1,100 feet per second, depending on humidity and altitude and a few other things, but average around there. And if you can keep the speed of sound on that 22 below that, it's just all you hear is click, 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 click as it goes. It's just the hammer following or firing pin hitting.
Yeah.
If it goes above it, and you point the let's say the rifle into the ground, you can go click, click, click into the ground and then point it down range and allow it to break that sound barrier. It almost sounds the same as at least out of a rifle.
Yeah.
Pistols, of course, are going to have a louder report with a shorter barrel. But yeah, those 22s can get real quiet. 9mm can get pretty quiet too.
Okay. Yeah.
I've done a little bit of playing with suppressors in the past. We're licensed to manufacture and develop and do a few other things with them and what we call prohibited weapons and prohibited devices in Canada.
Interesting.
But it never made sense to me, the whole hunting aspect, not being allowed to use something that's going to be, I don't know, everywhere else, occupational health and safety would say, like wear a hard hat, put eye protection on, right?
Yeah.
Like protect those ears.
Yeah. That makes sense. Maybe one day.
I think it might be coming. Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't see this coming in Sweden that will be license free either. So I was a pretty nice surprise actually. Yeah. Yeah. They've been fighting for that though for a while. So it's nice that it finally.
Do you guys have like an NRA of Sweden?
Yeah. I'm not sure about
that,
but I guess there's some kind of we have like the Hunters Association.
Okay, right.
That's doing that. It's just working with the government a lot.
The other thing I thought was interesting was you guys get allotments of animals for different. Is it for your group? You set up a hunting group?
It is actually for the area you're hunting. Okay. So up where we were hunting, they got 5, I think, red deers.
Okay.
So we're hunting. You're allowed to hunt with dogs from early September to February. That's the only time we can release a dog in the forest. Or the other time, you have to respect the animal and like the repopulation and
Sure.
So, but during that time, I think it's depend on the size of the land. You get assigned a couple of mooses, a couple of red deers, a lot of roe deers you can shoot. And for boars, because boars have been coming more north, we had a lot of them down south, but now they've reached the place we hunted as well. They were not there 45 years ago. There's no boars up there.
Really?
Yeah. And so now they've changed so you can hunt them all year round. But yes.
And day and night too, right?
Day and night too. And also you can have like thermal and you can shoot them where you feed them. So you can have a feeding station and you can
feed them,
you can have a light there, and so you can have all these extra stuff. You can't hunt them from cars, but like besides that, like pretty much any way you want to hunt them.
And their meat? I've never had wild boar meat.
It's really good.
Yeah,
I've heard that. It's like a game pork. It's a good flavor. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, when I was in Finland, big part of traveling for me and experiencing a culture is experiencing the food.
Yeah.
And so having some traditional food and of course you have to have the reindeer, which we call caribou, and I mean it's fantastic. And also they called it gray bear, but I looked it up. It looks like it's looks like a brown bear, basically like a grizzly bear.
Oh wow, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, so they serve that game meat in restaurants, and in Canada, well, most of the provinces, that's illegal. I think.
Oh wow.
I think Quebec. I was talking to a chef about this before who hunts, and he's got his Instagram feed. He's the hunter chef, and he's got a book out, and he's got another one coming out too. But I think it was Quebec, and maybe I think it was Newfoundland. I think where there are certain times allowed to serve game meat.
Oh,
aside from that, can't do it.
Oh wow, yeah, we do. We serve a lot of game meat, and you can also like sell you're allowed to sell your game. The problem with boar, because like we hunt a lot of boar, it got super popular over the years, and they can have this bacteria. I don't remember the name of it.
Trichinosis? Or
trichinosis? Yeah, trichina in Swedish.
Trichina, yeah, okay.
And so you have to send it to the lab first. So you get like a little piece of the boar and send it away. And it's fine, but there's some areas where it's more. And actually, we have a little problem with boar since the Chernobyl nuclear accident.
Oh, okay.
So
they glow now?
They glow now. No, but since they're eating like mushrooms and like stuff, and we had like a lot of rain of nuclear waste after Chernobyl here in Sweden. So we still, for a while, we like tested, I don't know if we tested boar for nuclear like radiation and stuff, because like we couldn't pick mushrooms, we couldn't fish for a lot of years after that.
For all of Sweden?
Especially for the northeast part of Sweden, where it's closer to the accident. And because it was like raining a couple of days after that, and the places where it was raining, we got a lot of nuclear waste in the ground, and it sticks around a long time.
No kidding.
So it's been affecting the boars a little bit as well.
Wow. I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah, that's going back quite some time, but it's
it's like in the 80s sometime.
Yeah. What was the other thing that kind of stuck out? So we will get a tag. We get our hunting license, and then once we have our license, they say, what do you want to hunt? Oh, I want to hunt moose, or I want to hunt whitetail. And so you go buy your tags.
Yeah.
You harvest an animal. It's confirmed. It's down. You're there. You notch your tag, or you cut it out, the day, the location. And that's just one of the ways that they're able to track the animals and say that you're a lawful hunter. You're not a poacher. So you've got your animal, you've got your tag notched, and the conservation officer happens to pull you over or stop you to talk to you. You show them your paperwork and say, hey, proper animal, close my paperwork, so it's not like I'm going to be going out and getting more. I'm not going to sneak this thing home real quick and then run out and say I got a clean tag, right? Here, you guys don't have that. In fact, you don't even really have conservation officers out there pulling people over.
No, I think that's interesting because like it feels like you have a lot of responsibility, and that responsibility in Sweden is usually put to, I think, one person, the hunting leader. So, for example, I'm in a hunting team close to Stockholm, and the hunter leader of the team, he has to report to the government, and he's the guy keeping track on how many animals. But there's no officers out there checking out and like making sure everything is. So he's just responsible. So okay, we get to shoot 10 roe deers, and then he keeps track of it, and then he fills in, and we can see like if it's usually bigger areas. So we have a couple of hunting teams around there, and for example, we can shoot 5 moose. And if the hunting team next to us shoots those 5 moose, we can't do it. So it's a little bit, we have to beat them to it a little bit.
Got it. Well, it makes sense from a conservation standpoint. Then you know exactly what's coming out of a certain area.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to keep track of the population, and it knows how much we'll get for next year.
But it's all like also kind of honor system too.
It's a lot of the honor system, yeah, because like they have to fill in the right amount, and
yeah, if they wanted to, they could totally lie and get away with it.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't seem to really be a thing that you guys do here. You don't have to worry about people. Like, people will break the rules wherever you go.
Of course, yeah. There's always going to be poachers and
yeah. But there's a sort of a culture here in Sweden, and I notice it in the hunting parties and how everyone's working together. There's a hive mind culture, and I don't know a better way to put it than that. And we're like North America, we seem to be a culture that, especially like in America, a culture of individuals.
Yeah.
Right? It's the I and the me and how do I stand out? But that is really not prevalent in what I've seen in my stay so far in Sweden. Everyone had their own little tasks. They got their own little roles. Everyone just filled in and they're helping out.
It's a lot of teamwork. Yeah. I think it's the way also we hunt. So we have to work together super hard. And I think it goes back so many generations that like these people learn from their dad, that learns from their dad. And the same kind of hunting with dogs. Yeah, we got more technology now. Back in the day, you release a dog and maybe the same day the dog will be back, you know. The dog could be back 1 week later, you don't know. But now we can keep track of that. But it's still kind of the same hunting, I think. So everyone has to have their task. You have these people with the dogs, people staying there, and we all help out, pull out the animal from the forest. And like it's just... It's a nice teamwork hunt, and everyone has their own little task in a way.
Then we go back and got the animal at the barn, hot dogs, and what was that one called? Mora Mist, and
have some like local sodas and stuff. Yeah, it's a lot about that. You know, we have usually when we do the moose hunt here in Sweden, everyone takes a week off work, and you know, it's been that for all years. So the kids in school is like, oh no, my dad's on a moose hunt this year, so I have to be home. You know, it's been like part of the culture so long. So we get assigned amount of moose we can shoot for the area, and then we all take a week off and we go out and we hunt and just stay in a small little cabin or camping or whatnot, you know, in this area, and just full focus on the hunt for a week. And it's also with dogs, so we have a moose dogs that we call them, and just go for it.
And it's so effective. I mean, when I was coming up from the Norma factory, and Jonas, he says he's going out hunting and he's gonna have to break the curse. He hasn't got an animal himself in a couple of years now, and anyways, he's like, send pictures. If you get something, you gotta send a picture. So anyways, with the red deer down, a picture of the heart goes over to him, and he's like, oh, great delicacy. And he doesn't say anything else. I'm like, okay, like, maybe they're not getting anything in their area. And I said, well, how are you doing? And he says, oh, we had to stop on day 1. We got 4. And, but he's like, I didn't get anything, but our hunting party did.
Yeah.
Like, that's unheard of, really, in BC, to go out in one day. Your hunting party's got their 4 animals, and okay, we'll just stop and come back.
Yeah.
So the dogs are pretty darn effective.
It is. So when we're out here in Stockholm, the ground, like the area we hunt, are way smaller, but it's a lot more animals in a smaller area down here than compared to we were up there in north of Sweden. So I think we're hunting down here on 1,500 acres or something, and up there it's 200,000 acres, or like it's like not but around like hundreds, like so much land, and we can go out and we can easily have 4 animals. Like we go out on a Saturday and we have 4 animals by lunch.
Wow! And then went out and did a fox hunt.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. What I thought was the coolest, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like I've never done a fox hunt before. I thought it was cool that I'm standing on top of these boulders in this rock pile that's like Viking times set up, and there's a frisbee golf right beside me, and dogs are doing their thing. It's like when you talk about the history in that area, you're going back hundreds and hundreds, and like, you're going way back.
Yeah, so that area has like a lot of Viking graves and stuff like that, and you just stand on this old piles of stone. There's like, oh, this is an old grave, and there's like a frisbee golf there, and then we have a dog, and we're standing there with a shotgun. And there's like houses around us, and I don't know, it's a
I like it.
Yeah, it's an interesting area to hunt in, I think.
Yeah, so I guess that covers a few of the differences and coming into it. Like, obviously, not everyone's going to be coming over into Sweden and being able to have an experience like that, because you can't just show up and start expecting to be able to hunt. I'm really grateful for you and for everybody there, the whole team, for taking us in and showing me and my wife how you guys do things. It was so cool
to have you guys. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, you did great.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to when you're over in BC, because that'll be cool. We'll, even though it's just going to be for small game and migratory.
So fun. Yeah, I'm excited.
So tell me about how does a guy from Sweden get into the country music scene?
I think, as I mentioned before, it's always been a lot of music around my family.
Yeah.
And my dad's playing guitar, and even no one has really done it professionally, but it's been... my dad lived in Nashville. He moved there with his brother in the 70s, and like saw Johnny Cash, and he went to college there. He's born in the 50s, my dad, and came back and like filled with this musical experience. So him and his brother has always been doing music, and a lot of blues, a lot of folk, Americana stuff, like a lot of Bob Dylan also, and also the blues stuff. So I think I got that pretty early on, doing music with I got the old school, and as soon as I started playing guitar, I think I was 15 or 14, something like that. It just took off for me. I was like, okay, this is what I got to do.
Yeah.
It's like I quit the trombone, start playing guitar.
Put the trombone down, son. Let's get you an instrument that...
Haven't picked it up since.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, we come in here, your recording studio is all decked out, and you got Marty Robbins going on the vinyl, and I love Marty Robbins. Grew up listening to his stuff. I always loved the Ballad of the Alamo, because they had Colonel Travis in that one, and as a kid, that was pretty cool to me.
Awesome artist, yeah.
Yeah, totally. But and so you went down to Nashville yourself?
Yeah, I did. Like, always want to go there.
Yeah.
Heart of country music. So I was visiting a friend my cousin actually went to Harvard.
Okay.
He got a scholarship and went to Harvard. And I went to Boston. I was like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
I have a little more time off, so I might just do Nashville now. So I flew down to Nashville. I think I spent 2 weeks in Nashville, out seeing music every night, and just like consuming this amazing musical atmosphere.
Yeah.
So for everyone who's been to Nashville, it's called Nash Vegas.
Nash Vegas.
It's a lot of a lot of music, a lot of partying, and just like a fun time.
Yeah.
It's a really cool city, and I was there just pre-corona. And I remember I was thinking, because I've been doing music and production for a long time, and doing some pop music, and it's a little competitive, the pop scene, I think.
Okay.
I came down there, and I was a little curious on how, because it's so many musicians in Nashville. There's so many people doing music. And like like how's the competition here? Aren't you like elbowing your way through?
Right.
Like how does it work here? You know. And I was going with this guy in an Uber who was a drummer on Broadway.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, the vibe here is like because country is still a bit of an underdog compared to pop music.
Sure.
So you want the other people to succeed. You don't want the other musicians to succeed. So we really have this feeling of like togetherness. And so he said, if you only have three things, like you have to know your stuff, you have to have your own stuff, and you have to be a nice guy to be with.
If you have to like you.
Yeah. If you do all those three, you will have a wonderful time, and you will people will want to help you and support you. And
so I read, and you said that in an article before, because you ended up winning an award. I forget. Usually I've got my phone to refer to these things, but we're using phones to record this one right now. But you had won an up-and-coming Country Music Star Award. There's something else that you had won, but I remember reading about the competition thing, and that struck a chord with me, because we see that too. And in the gun community, in the outdoors community.
Yeah.
And who was it that said, people at the bottom compete, people at the top collaborate.
Yeah.
And that always stuck with me.
Yeah.
Because if you want to have the biggest tower around, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can build the biggest tower, which takes a lot of time, energy, and work, and you're going to be working with people who know how to build towers and do the plumbing and do the electrical, and they're going to be employed, and you're all working together as a team, and everyone can then turn around and look at, people can drive by years later and say, show their kids, see that tower over there?
Yeah.
I helped build that, right?
Yeah.
Or you can tear everyone else's tower down, and then you've got the biggest tower. So often I find that in these areas with a low barrier to entry industry and high competitive levels, people's competitive nature will get ahead of them, and they'll start tearing down other people's towers to try and make theirs look bigger. Yeah. Is that what you're finding in other areas?
A little bit. Music is a hard business in a lot of ways. It's subjective. So like whether you like it or not, it's like always up to the person consuming it. So it's always hard to compete in music. And like you see something blowing up on TikTok or like it gets super popular, and it's like it's easy to get like a little jealous and like, I've been doing music for a long time, and you want to be heard and stuff. But I think it's so important to keep reminding yourself that like everyone, you're doing your thing. Like I think comparing yourself to others' success is like the start of a downfall. You have to like feel good about your thing, like what you do, and then just keep reminding yourself that like, well, I'm doing my thing, and if people enjoy my thing, they will continue with my journey, and you will build organic fans, or if you have a business or whatever. So just like keep being true, I think, is the key, and just keep like reminding yourself that you're doing your thing, and you don't compete with other stuff really. Like you compete in some ways, you want to make money of it, but like if consistency and doing your own thing, I think it's the key, and you will succeed with anything.
If they say comparison is the thief of joy.
That's the word. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, because I remember when I was in Nashville, I had a friend there. He was guitarist for Tracy Lawrence at the time. Swedish guy, great guitarist. Yeah. We went to see the Time Jumpers with Vince Gill. He was playing with them at the time, and he knew Vince Gill a little bit. So after the show, Vince Gill was there, and he was like rolling his cables, putting back his pedal board, and we went up and we talked to him. Super nice guy, and I was just thanking him for the show and like telling him like what a good big inspiration it's been to me. And he was like, "Oh, so nice. So tell me about your music." And he was just like keep asking me questions. And I was like, I'm nobody. Like, you're a guy, you're playing with the Eagles. You have like 40 Grammys and you're like selling out Ryman Auditorium the day after. And here you're rolling cables and wanted to know everything about my music. And I thought that was so inspiring at that level. And just as you said, like the top tier, like they're collaborating and he was just interested, like genuinely interested and a nice guy.
Yeah, because that keeps you fired when you see other people doing well and you're able to experience that with them or experience that same kind of joy, or if you're even able to help contribute just a little bit to their success path. If it's, I know a person, they might be a good contact for you. Yeah, I'll introduce you, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing those little things that happen. It's not that person who made the connection or the reference. They can't take any level of credit for your success, but they can feel the same excitement and that passion in what it is you do. I think when people start really getting hyper competitive, it kills the passion for it.
So fast.
It's if you make money your primary motivator, you're always going to be behind the money.
I think so too.
If you make fame your primary motivator, you're always going to be behind the fame.
Yeah.
You're always going to be chasing it. Just like if you make happiness your primary motivator, I want to be happy, you're never going to be happy.
No.
You're always going to presuppose the fact that you're not happy and you're working towards trying to be happy when all these happy moments are happening to you and you're still looking ahead and saying, when's this going to happen? When am I going to be happy? I think that same thing goes for, I know in my...
It goes for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not music. It's like running a business or whatever, you know, it goes together in everything you do.
Yeah. I mean, for me in business, my biggest joy is the creation part of it.
Yeah.
Sustaining certain things, my ADHD kicks in and I love doing the business.
Yeah.
But actually creating different parts of it is where it really fuels me. And when I see other people and they're building business, I get fueled and excited for them. And I'll say, look, you can tell me to shut up whenever, but I've got 1,001 ideas and the different things, and I'll keep spewing it out until you say stop, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like, to me anyways, that was the experience that you had over in Nashville, that these other artists are like excited for you, genuinely excited for you. They want to see you succeed.
Yeah. And I thought that was so inspiring, you know, being there and loving country music since I was a kid, growing up with it, and being there and meeting these like biggest stars and like feel the warmth and the community. I know it was really inspiring. So I've been working behind the scenes a lot before. I've been as a producer and also been out playing music as well, but not like putting out my own music, really. You know, you're always like, I'm going to do it one day. I'll start releasing my own stuff. It's like I've been writing songs for other.
One day, right?
One day. And then COVID came.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I fueled up with this Nashville trip. I was like, well, you know, this day is today.
That was a push, COVID?
It was a little bit. You know, I lost a couple like jobs and like the clients and you couldn't go out playing. So I was doing like cover shows and stuff as a frontman. It was a lot of fun. So I had all the experience of being on stage all the time and playing for people. So I was like, all right, now I'll do it. So I wrote my first single and the rest is history.
So does that fuel you? Like when you're out there on stage, do you love being the center of attention out in the crowds dealing with everyone? Or does that feel kind of like surreal? Do you put on a different sort of a persona mentally?
No, not really. I think that's with the experience I've got playing like corporate parties and weddings and all those stuff before. So when I was doing my own thing, I was just like, I'm just going to be as, you know, real as I can, you know, and I always thought that it's the funniest things to watch. Like if I'm playing a venue, I don't like to prepare stuff. I go out and I'm like looking out and like I'm seeing someone with a funny hat and I'll say something or like I just like trying to take in the moment. I think that's the best way of doing it. Like if you're having a presentation or something, like you learn, you read it, you practice so much, you go out and you think about these things and you're not present there. Like, it's good to know. You have to know all this. So I know the songs and I know what like works.
That's a good
But
point.
you go out, you just go out and you observe. You take in the room. Like, what are the people here? What do they want? What are they thinking about? What are their expectations? And then you work from there. And you just being calm and then that I think is the best shows, because then if I'm calm, the audience will be calm, and then they will be able to take in my music.
Right.
Like the worst thing is like you see this artist that's super nervous and you feel nervous, like, oh, this is not feeling very good.
Right.
And you think about that. You don't think about the music, and you just want this guy to be calm and feel good about being on stage, you know. But if you see this relaxed person on stage, it's like taking in the room, joking a little bit, something happens, someone walks in and someone screams something, and you just make a joke out of that. Like, I think that's also a good way of thinking of being on stage. So for me, it's not so much about being the center of attention, and like fueled by this, but I get fueled by the moment of just playing my songs. I think that's I do, and I love the band vibe. I think that's the most joy I get is when we play together a song and I feel like, oh, this is good. This sounds good. I like this. And like the whole band, I feel what this guy is playing, and everyone, you know, works like this together, and the audience is calm, taking it in, and you're doing something with everyone in the room. So everyone is just feeling this feeling of joy and the music and the flow state in a way. So I think that is what drives my music passion and like wanting me to keep doing this, I think.
That is cool. In the intelligence community and the security sectors, they'll refer to that as establishing a baseline.
Yeah.
They'll go in, they'll be the gray man, they'll look around, and they'll see how everything else out is acting, and then they'll find, okay, how do we work together?
Yeah.
And in the intelligence community, they'll be like, how do I use this feeling and to be able to propel the community and everybody else to where I want it to be, right?
Yeah.
And you know, when I teach, I do the same thing. Everyone comes in, I'll introduce myself to everybody as they come in. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Why are you taking this course? What's right? What I'm doing is I'm trying to get as much information as I can on every single person and get a quick read. Like, okay, where's their ability level? Where's their passion? What's their interest? What are they looking at? Then, you know, when I'm training new instructors, I say, you know, one of the things that I find really helpful for me is get the class to introduce themselves one at a time. You kind of go around, right? So all of a sudden, like as a performer, you take that spotlight that's shining on you and you turn it around and you're now shining it on the audience, right?
Yeah.
And all of that pressure of you having to perform is kind of off.
Yeah.
The audience or the class feels a bit of that pressure, and then they feel good afterwards and everyone starts to kind of mingle together, right?
Yeah.
And so I found for me, that's establishing that baseline, introducing, seeing where everybody's at, being able to turn that spotlight around is a big part. And all of a sudden, instead of people sitting there with their arms crossed and their legs crossed and they're sitting back in their chairs, like, okay, entertain me, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do, right?
Yeah, that's the worst. Like, to perform for a person like that, it's terrible. Yeah. Like, you have to like get under the skin on that person first.
That's right.
Yeah,
push them.
Yeah, and I think that's so important as a teacher. And I think myself, because I grew up, both my parents are retired now, but they're both teachers.
Right.
Been teachers for 40 years. And I remember when I was a kid, like, I'll never be a teacher. And the first job I guess, got to be a teacher. And I got to work with kids and do that thing. And I think like as a teacher, I think you have to do the same thing. You have to, like, if someone is sitting here and like, okay, entertain me now.
Right.
People not taking, like, then you're like, what does this person need? What's the deal? You know, you have to think about that, and you have to think that with an audience. If you're teaching or having a course or whatever, you know, you have to solve that first before you can.
I see similarities because a lot of teachers, they'll get up and they'll be like, I'm really smart. I know my stuff. I'm going to show you how smart I am, and I know you're not as smart as me, but we'll get you kind of and strokes my ego a little bit, and it's important to have ego. You should have some sort of personal pride. And
yeah, of course.
But as a teacher, I put the class first. My job is to get them from point A to point B. How do I get them from here to a point where they're comfortable, confident, proficient, and safe, and whatever it is that they're going to be doing?
Yeah.
And I'll treat the entire class as if it's one individual, essentially, with a bunch of personalities and questions. And how do I steer it from point A to point B? I got to wonder if I had just like a modicum of musical talent, which I don't. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't play any musical instruments. But if I were to get up and perform, if I were to use that sort of mentality, how do I get the audience from where we are here, like they showed up and they're expecting to be entertained, to, man, they just had a fantastic time and they vibed with us and we're all in the flow state? It's probably kind of a similar, would it be?
It is. Like, I think that's how you do it. You go in and you just feel it, and then you have to take from there, because it's all going to be different. Like a joke I did the last show, it won't work today.
Right.
I will do like a silly remark, and like one of the guy in the band has a new shirt. Like it was so fun the other day. Like this guy had the yellow cowboy shirt and with like fun patterns on. I was doing a joke about that, and get people laugh a little bit, and then you're just feeling the room, and someone is screaming something, and you just like I don't know the word in English, but de-weaponize, like make people like put down their guard a little bit.
That's it. Yeah.
And then takes time sometimes. Like you go out and you do a couple of songs, you still feel like, all right, they're not really connecting with me here, and you work your way through the set, and like halfway in you can feel like, okay, they're kind of started to be included now, and then you're like at the end they're like really connected with you, and they're singing along, and you have their attention, and like you're like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing like some sing-alongs here, and you bring it down, bring the song down, you extend the sing-alongs a little bit, because you're like, okay, they seem to like this, and
that's
then,
what they want.
And we do that, and then we move on, and it's like, okay, this is too slow, let's speed it up. And I'm fortunate to have a great a really good band. So they're like, they always joke with me, because like, we never know what's gonna come when we're playing with you, Robin. We never know, so we have to be on our toes all the time. So like, okay, let's redo this chorus, let's like extend this thing, let's do another solo on the verse, let's do this. So I think
well, that's the audio engineering. You can hear it, you can see it, you can visualize that.
A little bit, but I think also it's a lot actually from my mom. She was like a small, like a young kids teacher, like first grade to third grade, fourth grade, or something like that. And she always said that, like, she walked into the classroom and she's been doing it for a lot of years, but she wouldn't plan that much, and she would just like feel what's the kids' vibe, and she was like winging it and like trying to make up these fun games with them to make them learn, and she will always be very creative, and I think it's like the creative thing, being a teacher, being a performer, or like you work at a company, and it's so important to be a little creative. And as I said, with the band, like they know, like, okay, I'm doing some gesture, and they know exactly that, okay, we're gonna break the song, and we're gonna switch it over to this, and to be able to not like, okay, I'm doing the song the way I've been doing it every time, and then it stop, and then it works probably, but it's so much more fun. It's like everyone's singing along in this chorus. I'll do it again.
Well, what have been some of the largest challenges that you've had to face in your music career so far? And where do you see the future going with this?
Oh, that's a good question. The challenge is obviously making a living out of music is always hard. And, people, it's different with music, because if I get someone to come here and paint my house, and I will say I'll get an estimate, and like, yeah, this is so much money for painting the house. If someone asks me to come and play their bar, and they were like, oh yeah, you get free food, and you got to entertain the crowd for 2 hours. And I was like, okay, so I gotta prepare a set list, I gotta pack the van, I have to go there, set it all up, rehearse with the boys, I gotta figure everything out, bring all the stuff, put it up, play, entertain, take it all down, drive back home is like 2 days of work.
But you got exposure. Look at this. You got free food, right?
Yeah,
No,
like
you
and
can't.
like if someone comes to paint my house and like I'll put up a sign that you're painting my house. I'll post on Instagram or like whatever. It doesn't work like that. Like I think sometimes people view music as like it's a hobby, it's something fun, and it is something fun and a hobby for a lot of people. But I think that is always a challenge to being able to get paid in music.
It's funny. Is it trying to find that the whole grasshopper and ant mentality, but grasshopper's playing the music and the ant's working away, but the ant needs music. It needs something to feed its soul as well too, right?
Yeah, it's important. Everyone loves music in a way, in their own way, and I think it has an impact on the heart and soul, and it does good stuff for the society. I think music is important. And
what about AI? Is that a scary thing for a musician?
I think it's still in a way, but also I think you have to view AI as a tool. We were talking about this yesterday a little bit on how AI is using music that's already been done in just like inversions of it in a way. So I think we like the human factor a lot in music. That's why we use old microphones or old equipment, and like we like when it sounds a little gritty, and I think it's the human touch that is required. So I'm not super concerned with AI, but obviously, like you can do, it helps out a lot, editing and in every aspect of like the world now. AI is mind blowing, and we'll see where it ends up. But like it's definitely going to replace some parts of it, and create new ones. So
from watching how you put together the new song for the Silvercore podcast here, I have a hard time thinking that AI could ever do that. It can get maybe broad brushstrokes of certain things, but it can't take into that heart and soul of every different aspect that you put in there. When you're talking about the old musical instruments you're using, what's that one called? That
dobro.
Dobro. Yeah. There he is. Okay. It's got Scotch tape over top of the hole in it.
It's a rough instrument.
Right. It's been hanging on the wall there.
Yeah.
And but it provided a sound that you couldn't find anywhere else.
No.
And it wasn't like it's a normal instrument that you're using for recording with. It's a wall hanger.
It's a wall piece. Yeah. It's just like it looks good. And and I think that's with AI, it's when we're creating music, it's so many billions, like a lot of micro decisions, and every decisions when you're making music is based on feel, on soul. Like this does feel good, no, this does not feel good, and then you move on. Just like you work so much with feelings on how you hear it and perceive it, and I think that's hard for an AI to code that thing.
Yeah, and to make that feeling come through. Like if you're going to be sitting down with a whole crowd of people and getting them into, you can technically play something perfectly.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have people engage with it.
No. Like I saw this video and someone was auto-tuning the crap out of Don't Stop Believing, the old hit. And so made all the notes perfect and like super straight, like singing perfectly. And it just killed the vibe. And I'm like, it's not a good song anymore. So it's like perfection. It's not always the way when it comes to music. So you want a little bit of, whoa, it's not like, it's a little sharp and it's a little like low on that note. And it's just like create this like
feeling and friction.
Yeah, exactly.
I always go back to my story about Johnny. Johnny, the programmer. A friend of mine is like, Trav, I got this programmer. You're looking to have this new thing built up for a website, and he'll do it for you. He's brilliant, really great guy, and affordable. And Johnny comes in, he came into the office, and so I'll set you up at a table. He said, no, I just need a chair. What, you don't need a table? No, I'll just put the laptop on my lap, and okay. He starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. He gets there a couple minutes early. He sat on his chair, looks at his watch, and 9. Laptop's open, he starts working. And noon, laptop closes, napkin goes on his lap, he starts eating his food, right? And noon's over, laptop's open, and he's working until 5 o'clock, whenever it was that he...
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll come in, and you can see the hours I'm working, so you'll pay me for the hours. I'm like, okay, sure, I guess. Like, if this is your process.
Yeah.
He's like, tell me what you want. I told him exactly what I want. And he made me a website exactly how I asked for it. And it absolutely sucked. And the reason why it sucked was because I'm not a programmer. And it was exactly how I had asked for it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know enough to ask the right questions. And I didn't know that what I was asking was technically not sound. But he's like, yeah, I can build it. Yeah, I'll do it for you. Not a problem, right? And I think that maybe AI will be a little bit like Johnny, at least that's how it is now. Yeah, I can build something for you, but it's not giving that feedback of, what you're asking for is kind of stupid, right? Which is what he should have told me.
Yeah.
And in your culture, I think it's a lot more normal for people to just say things straight.
Yeah.
Not sugarcoat it, not pat around it.
Yeah. The Swedes we're pretty straightforward. Like, might come out like a little unpolite sometimes. We're very much, yes, no, I don't like it, I like it, da-da-da.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Does this dress make me look fat? Yes. I like the other dress better. Okay, thanks, right?
But as we said, we're also pretty like, we're a little scared of confrontation as well. So we're straight, but we're a little scared of confrontation.
How does that
Conflict.
work?
I don't know. It's
That's a weird anomaly, isn't it?
It is a little weird, but I guess you guys have to come here and see for yourself.
Well, that's where the hive mind comes in too, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I want to make sure, I'll be straight, but is everybody else happy? Are we all on the same page?
Yeah, so we always add like after sentence like, or?
Yeah, what's your word, Elsa?
Eller.
Eller.
So I like this, eller.
Yeah.
I like this, or? Yeah.
Yeah. Meaning, or do you want to add something else to it?
Or what?
Should we...
Or what do you think?
Or do I really like it? I don't know.
Yeah. Like keep it open.
Eller.
Yeah, eller.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we haven't talked about that we should be talking about?
The song? Have we talked about the song? Yeah, that I'm making a new song.
You did a phenomenal job on this new
song. Thank you so much.
Holy crow. So I am so stoked by it. And you send this over. You're like, not a problem. I'll make you a new song. Yeah, this is great. And you send over this clip and you're like, any feedback, any revisions? And I listened to it and it was just like the first part.
Yeah, it was just like an intro. So I was doing it down here. And you got me a couple of references, but then you gave me so much freedom.
Yeah.
And you was like, okay, write a song. And I was like, oh, all right, I'll do it. And then I got like a couple of references and a couple of just notes that I could go towards. And I was just trying all this different stuff. And then I was like, I'm running out of ideas here. I have to try something else. And then I was like, oh yeah, I have this like wall piece in the house, this guitar that we talked about it. It's a weird sound.
Yeah.
And it's like the strings are really dead and there's
it's
a weird sound. And just put a mic in the room and I wrote this riff. And I did a little intro and I was like, oh, we'll see if he likes it. I have no idea. And I sent it over.
Yeah. What did I say?
Well, you loved it, apparently. Which was
There's nothing I could change about it. He's like, oh, let me know if there's anything you want to change. I'm like, why would I change this? Why would I step in and start trying to micromanage a creative process? I already know I like your work. I already know I like your stuff. I've listened to your other music. Why would I get in and try and poke my fingers in here? Because then it becomes less your work and more like me with Johnny. Right?
Oh yeah, you were then again like giving me a lot of freedom. So I think it was the hardest part with it because you liked the first part, and I was like, all right, now you guys have to build a whole song out of this thing. I'm like, all right. And
is that stressful?
It's a little stressful. Yeah, it's a challenge, but I think a lot of people work best under pressure.
Yes,
and I always like do everything last minute.
Yeah,
so it's just like working hard last week.
When did it all come together? Like a couple days before?
Yeah, like 2 days before you came here. Like I sent it over there. That's when I was done.
If it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would ever get done.
No. So
I'm the same way. If I do my best to put everything in place so that I have some sort of structure or framework that I can work with, but for my most creative pieces, they're all done at the very last moment.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's an ADHD thing. Some people would say it is, but
I think it has to do with like creativity. You have to be a little like pushed and whatever you create it with.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you're in a too safe scenario, I think you're like, I don't think it gets too good, you know? You have to be like, this has to be really good. Got a lot of pressure on this thing. And like a last minute, I would just have time to make it now. And I think that's when you have to be like, all right, I just have to make it work. Whatever. What do I got now to just finish this thing, you know?
When do you put something down and then turn your head off? Because I got to imagine that after a while, you'd look at it and be like, oh, I could tweak this or I could do that. Do you ever get that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have to have a deadline and everything, or like I'll tweak it to eternity.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I absolutely love this song. It's got some,
Thank you.
when I listen to it, the full thing coming through, I'm like, oh, I can use the first half for this, or I could use this part for like voiceover, or this part can be for a like YouTube and sign off, and as I'm thinking about all of these things, and I talked to you, and that was exactly what you had in your mind when you're making these different little sections of it. It's, yeah. Do you do a lot of this kind of work for other people? Like, or is that?
It happens. But most of the time I have like artists coming in and we're writing songs and stuff.
Right.
But every now and then I do like something special. Not very often. That's why I also thought it was pretty fun. It's always a challenge to do this stuff, like to compose. But I'm happy you liked it.
Absolutely blown away by your work. Absolutely blown away by your hospitality. Thank you. Beautiful place that you have here.
Thank you so much.
Really enjoy setting up and filming and recording in your studio. Robin, thank you so very much for being on the Silvercore Podcast. I thoroughly enjoy this, and I really enjoyed. I should also make sure and shout out to everybody else. I won't have all the names down right, but everybody at Soleron. Yeah. All the hunting crew. Thank you so much. What an amazing time.
Thank you, Travis. It's been a blast having you guys here, you and your wife, and had so much fun and a pleasure and an honor to be on your podcast. I love your work.
And now 2 more weeks and you're going to be down in my neck of the woods and show you what it's like out there.
I'm looking forward to it.